All right, now we're going to take an example where we look at causation and correlation and try to apply it to the whole thing. We're gonna create a scatter plot, and we're going to look at it and try and analyze it a little bit. Okay, so the very first thing we got to do when we have a problem like this, I guess I'll read the problem first. All right, Lane works as a cook at a pizza parlor. The table shows the number of hours he worked and the amount he was paid each month. And so if you look at his numbers, you see May worked 17 hours, June 51, July 49, August 42.5, September, right? So he's worked a lot more hours in the summer, right? Not too many in May. And so what we're going to do is we're going to graph these ordered pairs in a scatter plot, okay? So I made this graph down here, all right, where the hours he works is our x, right? So we put that on our x-axis right here. And then the pay is y, because the pay depends, you know, if we think about classic independent and dependent variable, the pay usually depends upon that. So we're going to look at this and see if, you know, we've got causation here. So we're gonna plot these points, all right? So I'm gonna start with this one, right? So I'm not going to do this for everyone, but this May is the point 17,149.6. All right, so I'm going to go to 17, which puts you approximately about like here, and then go up to 149.6, which is, you know, a little below 150. And then I'm going to put a dot, and that's my first point. And I'm going to do that with all of these. All right, so I'll do the next one. I'll do June. So go to 51, which is a little off 50, and then 448.80. So that's going to put me about somewhere right in here. Can only get, you know, so exact with these things on these digital platforms. All right, July 49th, 431.20. All right, so July is 49, and then 431.20 is going to put me a little lower. So it's going to put me about right, I don't know, about right there or so. All right. August, you go to 42.5, and then it's 374. So that's halfway between 40 and 45. And then 374 is going to put me about halfway between those. So that's a little high, but that's kind of close. September, 29.5, so it's basically 30. And then 259.6 is, for our purposes, about 260. So we got a point about there. And then October, we go to 31, and then go to 272.80. And so that's going to be just a little bit above this one, right? So about, you can't even see the difference between them. All right, so then when you get these, all right, we realize, okay, we've got all this going on. So let's see if we can, you know, answer these questions. So does the scatter plot show a positive or a negative correlation? So if you think about what a scatter plot is and what a negative and positive correlation are, negative correlation is when as x goes up, y goes down. Positive correlation is as x increases, y increases. This is definitely a case where as x increases, y increases. And even though they're not asking for it, if we were to draw a line of fit through this, it goes, if you draw it correctly and you did your points correctly, it goes exactly through pretty much every point. Okay? And if I would have drawn it better, it would go exactly through every point. And there's a reason for this, right? And we'll talk about that in a second. But so there's definitely a positive correlation here, right? There's positive linear correlation because it makes a line. And then we look at determine whether this data shows causation. Does one variable cause the other? So think about what we're talking about. We're talking about amount of hours you work and does it affect your pay? Well, by definition, you know, a cook is going to be an hourly employee in most cases, right? And what that means is you work and you get paid for the amount of time that you spend at that place working. And so that's absolutely a causation case. You work more hours, you'll make more money. You work fewer hours, you'll make less money. So yes, there absolutely is causation with this. This is a classic case of causation, and one that I use all the time when I talk about like unit rates and things like that is pay, because I think it's something that we can all relate to. So this is kind of like a long, drawn-out example of it, but it's basically tying and making scatter plots, and we added in the line of fit so you could kind of see how that works, and just pulling it all together here. All right, so good luck with the problems in this chapter, and I think you'll do well.